and welcome to A Light Chat. It's a short interview series where we talk about all things relevant to lighting. Joining us as always, our resident expert, Frank Grobmeyer. As movie and theater fans, Frank and I are excited to talk to today Jeffrey Smith. He's the owner and president of the Downtown Cowtown at historic Isis Theater in Fort Worth, Texas. Now, cinemas and theaters have undergone a lot during this pandemic, but with the use of innovative technology to reduce the spread of pathogens, the show is back on. So today's topic is how lighting can improve environments. So let's learn more from Jeffrey Smith. So welcome, Jeffrey Smith, to the show. It's nice to meet you. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and how it is that you came to be the president and owner of the Isis Theater?
Well, first of all, Meredith, thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to spend some time talking with you today about what we're doing and the different things that are happening for us. I've been involved in theaters for over 30 plus years. I've been doing it either as front of the camera, behind the camera, on stage, behind the stage, actor, director, producer, what have you, for as long as I can remember. I've also been involved in education for a long time as well. And got to a point about 5 years ago that I came across this historic theater that was just left alone and needed to be restored. It was a historic landmark in the city of Fort Worth, and I just felt compelled that it needed to be done. And my wife and I decided to jump in full bore, both feet, jumped in there and decided to tackle this huge task. And it's taken us about 4 to 5 years to get it completely done. Because my wife and I had reached a point, we had both, she was a long time educator, 25 years. And we both kind of sat down and we kind of were at a crossroads. We were talking about all of the things that we've always wanted to do. It was right around Christmas 2016, and we were sitting there going, okay, so what is it we really want to do? And I didn't hesitate. I said, well, there's the Isis Theater in Fort Worth. That's the building I want. This is what I want to do with it. This is how I want to build it. This is what I think we can do with it. And I think it'd be a great journey and a great opportunity. And without missing a beat, she looked at me and went, okay.
The theater's got a really interesting backstory, but you've also modernized it, and it has a cool story too, because you not only do classic movies, which I guess is a little interesting for most theaters today, and then you do a live venue in the evening. So tell us a little about what you're doing now.
Cool. Absolutely. The theater itself was originally built in 1914. So when you talk about a rich history, it's gone through several transformations through the years, because it had burned down in 1935 and they refurbished it and built it as one of the largest theaters in Fort Worth. It was a single screen movie house. When we looked at what we wanted to accomplish with this space, we wanted to make sure that we still stayed true to that 1920s, 1930s feel. So still having that large screen, which we do have, which is a 37-foot screen. It's massive. But we expanded the stage so that we could turn it into a live performance venue as well. And we have everything on our slate, from comedians and entertainers to musicians to theatrical performances. It really runs the gamut and gives us the opportunity to introduce the city of Fort Worth to a lot of different art forms. We really did work with the Historic Commission to try to make sure that we stayed as historically accurate to the building as possible, but we wanted to make sure we brought it forward to the 21st century, so that we were making sure we're plugging in everything that really does make it safe and secure for our patrons.
You said it was a 4 to 5 year process.
Yes, yes, it was. And it did have an impact on us. We thought at the beginning of the pandemic, we were a little bit blessed. We thought, okay, there's not a lot of traffic going around. And because it is such a historic transformation of the building, it's very extensive on the construction side. One of the biggest interruptions through the pandemic was deliverables and shipping and getting things here in a timely fashion. It just sort of stretched our timeline a little bit longer than what we originally anticipated. Obviously made things a little more costly in a few areas.
How did the lighting impact you? I mean, you were able to use some of the modern conveniences of LEDs with the the classic
Absolutely. And
look?
I think that's a great question. And that's one of the first things that we really looked at first when we started designing the space. I've designed several theaters before, and I'm not sure how familiar both of you are with actual live theater performance spaces. But when you start putting the original type of lighting instruments in there, you're looking at instruments that have 575 to 1,000 watts per instrument that you're hanging within the space. That takes a lot of juice. You're looking at baking steaks on stage, really literally, with the amount of heat that is coming off of those instruments. But the technology has been fascinating. We've saved a significant amount of energy and power due to the fact that all of the new instruments, they're very technologically advanced. They've moved to LED, so they're much, much cooler. They're much, much more versatile, meaning that I can have one instrument that does a multitude of colors. A company called Krypton has actually created a UVC light that actually is safe for patrons to be in the room. And so we've got 4 of those installed in our main theater, and they're located up on our ceiling, and they rotate through on time. But we've probably got the cleanest, safest space anywhere. It's amazing what it does, and it makes us feel a whole lot better, because when we're talking to our patrons about making sure that we are still following COVID protocols and being common sense, we are able to add in that one added element that says we have the safest, cleanest environment for you to come and sit in. And it makes it easier for us to clean as well, because we're not really having to fog every single time we show a film. We no longer have to do that. We can actually allow the sterilization to happen, wipe everything down, and we're good to go.
What's been the reaction from the patrons knowing that you have that technology in place?
Every single person that's coming in feels much more comfortable. They're like, this really makes us feel better, knowing that you guys have gone the extra mile to make sure that that we're safe, that we feel comfortable being here. Not only do they get to absorb this beautiful space, knowing that there's these extra elements that are in there, it doesn't detract from that retro feel at all. You can't even tell that they're there.
See, and I imagine when you walk into an old theater, it smells kind of musty, but I would assume yours smells like probably a doctor's office. So clean.
But it does. It actually, I mean, some people will say they walk in, it just has that new car smell. So I did have somebody come in and say it has a new theater smell. So I'm like, that's good. And that's what it should stay that way. And it probably will for a very long time, just because of the process of that cleaning that we're doing.
When it came to getting them installed, for any other theater that may be considering that type of technology, what was the installation process like? Was it time-taking?
It really was not that time-consuming at all. And the install was phenomenally fast. I mean, it was literally, I mean, these guys know what they're doing. I'll give a shout out to Cloud Industries for that, because those guys, they came in and probably had them installed within, less than a couple of hours. I mean, literally being able to get up onto a scaffolding, setting it up in between our seats, didn't hit any of our seats. We were able to get them up because they were right over our aisles. I have 2 aisles, and we did 4 units. When we start a movie and it goes into its pre-show, it goes into the previews, it goes into the actual movie. It's part of the cycle. Electrically, it's plugged in so that when the movie starts, during the previews, it's on. Once the previews are off, it goes off, the movie runs, and then towards the end of the movie, it kicks back on again. It runs for about 20 minutes. That's all it really needs in order to really sterilize the room. And we do that regularly throughout the day. And it's very inobtrusive. I mean, you don't even know that it's there. You don't even know that it's been plugged into your system.
Well, congratulations on opening. And I'm absolutely sure it'll be all worth all the hard work.
Thank you, Frank.
And I'm sure you're a wonderful addition to that great area in downtown Fort Worth.
We're real excited. We like what we've been able to accomplish. We're proud of what we've been able to accomplish. We look forward to our partnership with the city and everything we're doing moving forward. And hopefully we're, kind of a pilot for other folks on dealing with UVC and making areas safer for everybody.
I don't know about you, Frank, but I'm thinking road trip.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think y'all need to come down and come catch a show. We've got all sorts of great things coming through, and either seeing a movie or come to see one of our live shows and know that you're coming to one of the safest environments on the face of the planet right now. So
I'm excited. I'm in. I'm
Sounds
game.
like an invite.
Thanks again, Jeffrey, and thank you for watching this episode of A Light Chat. Be sure and follow and subscribe to the Natural LED YouTube channel for future episodes. We hope to see you soon.